Hi again, my name is Rebel and I'm the Rebel Reseller, and today I'm going to be doing the second half of my What Sold, which will be for last weekend, Friday through Sunday, July 26th through the 28th. And at this point we are on vacation, so I'm having extended handling time. My sales really didn't change a whole lot while we were on vacation. I had some really good days and I had more less than great days. Just kind of the roller coaster right now. You know, as you're going to see in this video, bread and butter is saving me. For those people who only want to list stuff that are like $25 profit and up, that's good. But right now, if I was having to wait for my sales that were 25 and up, I wouldn't be making a whole lot of money. It's my $8 to $12 items that are saving the day. And so, I'm happy with the business model that I have. I say this quite often. I buy really cheap and I sell stuff for a profit, and I sell a lot of stuff. So, but right now, it's tough. But every year, if you go back this time, probably last year, I probably saying the same thing, the ups and downs of eBay. And right now, because I've totally changed out Poshmark and Mercari and Etsy, I'm not making hardly any sales there either. Funny thing is while we were on vacation, I left them on, and I made in one day a sale on Mercari, Etsy, and Poshmark, and then nothing since, and it had been weeks since before the previous sale. So, but I don't have very much there, so I'm not going to complain. Last night, I think I cross-listed probably 30 or 40 items in List Perfectly to Poshmark and Mercari, and that's the plan going forward. Try to do at least 30 or 40 every day to get myself up to the point where most things are going to be on Mercari and Poshmark if appropriate. Everything starts on eBay for me. That's just how I've always been. Everything starts on eBay. And then now that I have it in List Perfectly, I'm just using List Perfectly to start cross-listing everything over to the other places. And I'm hoping, fingers crossed, for yet another wonderful fourth quarter. All right, so let's get to this. Like I said, this is only eBay right now. First thing that sold was this very old listing. If you look up there, you can see my custom label. It was listed before January of last year, and I took a best offer of $11 for it. McDonald's, Monsters vs. Alien. This is one of those items. I had it. I listed it for a low amount, thinking when I find some of the other figures, which they're getting harder and harder to find, but I've done very well with Monsters vs. Aliens. Then I will, make a lot. But it sold. It's been listed since January, so obviously I haven't found anything since. And it sold for $7.15 for a McDonald's toy. Animal Adventure Brown Bear Plush sold for $10. Y'all, I listed this in April. I can't tell you how many offers I got, and it was always for $5 or $8 or $10. And it was just one of those things that I knew I could get more based on the comps that I had seen. There were no others that had 4 of them. Now, these are just Burger King toys. These are not the real thing. And they would have done much better if they had the card that originally came with them, but they didn't. But y'all, I just kept getting hit with so many offers. And then, when I do the end and sell similar, then it would start all over again. But finally, it sold for my sale price of $17.95. But it's, I like selling Happy Meal and other kids' meal toys. They do well for me, especially the Subway ones. Subway. Baby Essentials Elephant Lovey. I love picking up Loveys. A lot of them I pay a quarter or 50 cents for, and a lot of them are bread and butter. This one sold for $9.86. Again, look how many bread and butters I've made. Sales. All right, Zoll M. It was a St. Bernard dog Not quite sure what Zoll M was. Maybe it's a store. I don't know. But it was from New Orleans and it sold for $12.50. Ugh. I need to quit buying this kind of stuff. I don't. Now that Robert's packing, not so bad. But, you know, they take a while. And I just need to make better choices. I'm just being honest there. These were Yellow Bird bookends. Not quite sure where we picked them up. Again, another really, really old listing. And they sold for $18.68. Despicable Me Agnes Unicorn Plush. Again, an older listing, but it ended up selling for $19.76. Goodnight Moon. I've got tons of, Lovies, Plush. There's a whole series that goes with this book. I love the book. I read it a lot to my kids. This is a clip-on from Kids Preferred, and it sold for $10. Sheen, I think is what I've heard people call it. I think these came in the Goodwill Blue Box denim pants, jeans box. I can't even get it out right. You know, I had it, I listed it. It actually only took about 6 months to sell, and I took a best offer of $8. Not a brand we will pick up. Soft Dreams. I think I sold a little lamb in the last video, and I told you it's just one of those brands. I love picking it up. And here is a Santa Claus crib plush that sold for $17.95. Disney Lady and the Tramp, just listed it. It was in one of the bins bags that we picked up, probably from St. Louis, maybe Nashville, I don't remember. And it sold for $16. Liberty, Paw Patrol, Dachshund plush. I had just talked about picking up the little backpack for her, and I never got around to adding the backpack to this listing, so I've ended up listing it separately. But this little Build-A-Bear plush sold for $11.59. Russ, Fanny, a pink elephant with little hearts on her ears, sold for $10.55. Lauren, Ralph Lauren women's top sold for $15.94. Again, something I just listed. Sim Town Windows PC CD game. I want to say Robert picked this up at the Goodwill bins. It sold still, again, within a month for $15. Precious Moments. Lots of you commented on, I guess there are Facebook groups where people alter these into other things. And y'all, I think I'm going to start picking these up. If I can get them for like a quarter or 50 cents at yard sales, because I've sold a bunch of them. A bunch. So this one sold for $8.96. I think this is a viewer sell. I'm only saying that because I think she's made a comment in the feedback. So thanks, Cindy, for purchasing this. I got this with a bunch of other stuff. Like I said, if I've got it, I'm going to list it for the most part, unless there's an issue with it. This was a Vienna glass cookie stamp. I guess she collects this type of stuff. And it sold for $4.46. Trick or Treat Halloween jigsaw puzzle. As you can see underneath there, we put this puzzle together. That's just what we like to do. A lot of the puzzles we like to do are White Mountain puzzles. This one actually was Vermont Christmas Company. Very cute Halloween. And it sold within a couple of months for $11. Y'all, we picked up some amazing puzzles at an estate sale that I'm going to share with you guys real soon. Hundreds of dollars. Hundreds. Oshkosh Tan Horse Plush. Oshkosh Tan Horse Plush sold for $16.16. Just picked this up, drove all like an hour to an estate sale. Ended up filling up like the bottom of an IKEA bag. It was supposed to be $5 each for the plush. So I was really particular. And then when we went to check out, she was just like, how about $20 for everything in the bag? So I'm not quite sure what it was per piece. Probably $3 or $4. I had never seen this doll. It was by Kenner. It is Apricot Doll from the Strawberry Shortcake series, but she was totally cloth. And 1981, sold very quickly for $20. Games. I don't pick them up as often anymore, but you know, when you do pick up something and then you realize something's missing, consider selling the parts as incomplete replacements. That's what happened with this. I think I wrote on there, it was missing one ticket. So I ended up just getting rid of the box and everything else so that the shipping would be really cheap. And it sold in about 3 months for $8. Cowgirl Tough women's cutoff shorts sold for $14. We have been selling the heck out of shorts, jean shorts. This is actually, I think, my best sale. I didn't scooch it to the end, but I want to say Robert picked these up at an estate sale. I bought 2 different sets. These are Dale Evans branded little girl dress-up clothes. They were called Lasso 'em Bill. It was the skirt and the vest. Did have some stains on it, some discoloration. I put pictures of all of that up close, and it sold for $62.95. I think, if I didn't say this already, I'm pretty sure we paid $5 each for 2 different outfits. Carole, I love that brand. I've got another doll I think I need to get listed. This one was called Bobby Butch. Don't know. 12-inch Sweet Dreams doll, and she sold for $13.45.
We called him Baba Yaga.
Arnold Palmer Robert Bruce men's sweater sold for $22.21. Thank goodness for the clothing sales. Now, we picked this up at a yard sale when we got detoured off of the highway when we were going to Missouri this last trip. I ended up picking up, I want to say, 3 of these Smurf houses. I think only one of them had a figure in it. I want to say I paid $3 or $4 each. This one was from 1978, and it sold very quickly for $32.35. Hug Fun. I used to pick that up a lot when I was at the bins. I have stopped picking up that brand, but it still sold. It is an older listing, sold for $8.05. Buzz Lightyear ray gun toy sold for $11.66. Sold very quickly. Let me tell you about these pants. This is another one of those that has drove me nuts. I know it was freight forwarding companies that were making these bids, or people using a freight forwarding, because they were all either Delaware or Portland or something. But I kept getting offer after offer for like $10, $15, $20. These were different. These South Pole skater jeans were different, and I just figured I was going to wait a bit and see what happens with them. And finally, somebody gave me an offer of $30 for them, which I went ahead and accepted. But y'all, probably, again, 20 or 30. And every time I would renew it the next month, it would start again. The same low bids on it, low offers. Gans, Webkins, Tiger, Plush lot. Picked up a bunch of these, and I just decided to put them in small lots. These were just 2 different tigers, and they sold for $11.66. Walmart tan dog plush. This isn't the one that has the tag that says it's Spark Create Imagine. It's a little bit bigger. It was from 2018, and it sold very quickly for $15.25. I still pick up the Spark Create Imagine ones, but for some reason, these, little bit bigger, and they come in different colors still, tend to do really well for me. Paw Patrol 2016 Marshall Plush sold for $10.95. And then this unicorn plush from Kelly Toy, again, listed for a really long time, and I went ahead and accepted a $10 offer. I've had a couple of comments in previous videos about when I say make it gone, that it's a race to the bottom, that I'm taking low offers. But y'all, if you look at the custom label there, this thing was listed before January of last year. Probably was a Ben's pickup, so might have $1 in it. And it was time to recoup my money, go buy me an ice cream or something. But you just don't know if something's going to sell right away. Unicorns are on my just say no list from this point forward because they do take forever. But those of you who look at my prices in my store, my prices are probably average. Sometimes I will take an opportunity to try to bump prices up if I think I have a quality item, a vintage plush, let's say a Lisa Frank item, and somebody else has done a race to the bottom. But if I use WorthPoint and I can see over 10 or 15 years that it should have been here, but somebody else has drug it down, I'll try to take the price back up. But sometimes you just gotta raise your hands up in the air and say, look, it needs to go. It's still a profit. And I don't consider these race to the bottoms because they've been listed forever and nobody has purchased them. So it's just time to make them gone. So when I say make it gone, it's not that. It's not for that. It's not me just trying to push inventory very quickly at a cheap price. I've had them listed. I've tried to sell it at $15 and it wasn't moving. So it was time to make it gone. Gund Mackie Quacky Duck plush sold for $8.05. Just another bread and butter sale. The thing is did you ever get feedback on something and when you go and look, you're like, they must have it on auto feedback? Because the feedback for this item was glad it was still sealed in plastic. Something like that. So obviously they've got something on where every feedback they're giving is wrong, but it's still a positive feedback, so keep on going. Disney Cinderella Fairy Godmother coffee mug. I love coffee mugs, especially if I can get them, a quarter or 50 cents, 3 for $1. I tend to pick up a lot of advertising or, Disney or other character type stuff or just vintage in general. This one sold pretty quickly for $8.96. Scooby-Doo Pirate Plush Toy Factory. For all the negative things I say about them, I sell a lot of Toy Factory, especially character plush. This one sold for $8.96. Make sure when you're buying Scooby-Doo, a lot of times it's make or break for me if it does not have that little, let me go back, that little logo on the end of the collar. A lot of times it's cardboard and it gets torn off. So that's one of the things I always look for when I'm looking at Scooby-Doo, is make sure it has its little collar thing hanging there, because almost all of them do. Profit pile stuff. Back here behind this monitor, it's mostly personal stuff back there, but that's also where we put the stuff when we're making videos, and then I can pull it from there and go list it. But I had a couple of totes underneath there that I forgot about, that it was full of vintage Christmas stuff. This was one of the items, and it sold within a couple of months. But it was just a little porcelain ornament of a swan, and it $8.96. Sears Roebuck catalog from 1993. I think this was a Robert pickup. But believe me, some of the Christmas catalogs, even just not Sears, do really well for the older ones. The thing to remember though with catalogs is you cannot ship them medium mail because there's advertising in there. So just keep that in mind. But even that, you guys can't see it, but the shipping was really cheap on this because I do pass my discount on to my buyers. So will I pick up more catalogs? Probably. This one did take a while to sell those, so got to be particular about the ones you pick. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Like I said, tons and tons of bread and butter. It's just what it is for us right now, and I've got tons of treasures to get listed. That's what I'm going to be focusing on, and just being grateful for every single sale I make, because this is our primary income. So, you know, I have to be listing a lot and sending it out offers and accepting offers as they come in. All right, y'all, get to work.